Welcome to Wales. Have you ever imagined a land where dragons are national symbols? Castles rise from every corner, and sheep easily outnumber people? That place is Wales, a country full of surprises tucked into the western edge of Britain. With over 600 castles scattered across its valleys and coastlines, it holds the highest castle density in all of Europe. Its flag boldly features a red dragon, a symbol of resilience and legend deeply rooted in Welsh identity. And as you wander its green hills, don't be surprised to find more sheep than people, nearly 4 for every 1 resident. Listen closely and you might hear something even more distinctive: the Welsh language. Still spoken widely across the country, it reflects a strong national identity that continues to thrive, echoing through street signs, schoolyards, and daily conversations. Nature here is nothing short of breathtaking, with 3 national parks offering a glimpse into its wild beauty. Snowdonia, crowned by the towering peak of Mount Snowdon. Brecon Beacons, known for its open landscapes and hidden waterfalls. And the Pembrokeshire Coast, where dramatic cliffs meet the sea. Every part of Wales feels like it holds a secret worth discovering. So let's set off on a journey, one path at a time, to explore the wonders woven into this remarkable land. Once a hub of slate production, this vast site was among the largest and most productive of its kind worldwide. The quarry features 40 stepped galleries, connected by an intricate internal tramway system, stretching across hundreds of acres. Operations began in the late 18th century and eventually employed over 3,000 workers during its peak in the 19th century. Slate tiles produced here were exported across the UK, Europe, and North America, due to high demand for roofing materials. Although extraction stopped in the 20th century, The site today still bears powerful traces of its industrial past. Massive rock walls, rusted machinery, and abandoned tram lines now serve as educational landmarks for curious visitors. A museum located in restored Victorian workshops recreates the daily lives of the workers who once shaped the industry. Demonstrations and preserved tools offer deep insight into traditional slate splitting techniques and the craftsmanship involved. Part of the former excavation site now houses an underground power station using a pumped hydroelectric system. With dramatic views of surrounding peaks, the entire area tells a rich story of resilience, innovation, and natural heritage. Now, before we move on to the next destination, here's a fun question for you. How many castles in Wales are recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Sites? Comment your guess. Cradled by surrounding mountain slopes, the lake lies still, its surface gently disturbed only by the occasional passing breeze. Its waters mirror towering ridges in perfect clarity, creating a scene often chosen for film backdrops and sweeping landscape shots. Soft azure tones stretch across the lake, framed by open moorland that gives the valley a dramatic cinematic presence. Along the shore, a smooth blend of pebbles and reeds forms a quiet boundary between solid ground and shifting reflection. The atmosphere carries a cool dampness, filled with a subtle sense of fresh grass, moist soil, and distant woodland. Free from any signs of human construction, the vast, uninterrupted lake surface creates a peaceful and open panorama. Just below high peaks, the entire area seems paused in time, serene, remote, and beautifully removed from the modern world. If you are watching this, please click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It's completely free, but means a lot to us. Long ago, miners transported slate across this rugged route, embedding the landscape with history and labor. Stone paths laid generations ago now guide hikers toward peaks, once tread by workers in weathered carts. The surrounding terrain rises steeply on both sides, carved by both time and countless footsteps. Low stone walls and weathered signs hint at the passage of thousands who crossed here in pursuit of work or wonder. The air is often cool and damp, filled with the scent of rain-soaked stone and distant heather. Gusts of wind travel through the pass, reflecting the long history embedded in the surrounding hills. Initially fortified in the Iron Age, the site included earthen ramparts and wooden palisades, constructed around 600 BC for protection. The original fort enclosed a village of roundhouses, reflecting common defensive settlements in the region during that era. This area was part of an ancient kingdom that later divided into two territories after the death of its last prince in the late 12th century. A wooden fortification possibly existed here before being destroyed by fire, paving the way for the construction of a stone castle. The existing stone castle was likely built in the 1260s by a local lord allied with a powerful Welsh prince. This construction came during a time of political maneuvering, following a treaty that secured Welsh autonomy from English control. The castle served as a buffer between rival kingdoms and was part of a larger network of fortifications. Its design shares architectural features with another nearby castle, suggesting the involvement of the same master mason. Rising majestically from shimmering waters, this fortress captivates with its blend of strength and fairy tale charm. Its silhouette first appears like a dream, then solidifies into stone walls, steeped in history and purpose. Constructed with intent beyond mere defense, the castle's vast walls tell tales of ambition and medieval power struggles. Built on an artificial island surrounded by man-made lakes, it harnesses water as both shield and spectacle. The design features concentric rings of curtain walls and towers, showcasing a pivotal moment in fortress architecture. Bold, geometric arcs of massive stone walls embrace the stronghold, protecting centuries of stories within. Layer upon layer of defense reveals remarkable medieval engineering and the foresight of its builders. Waters surrounding the castle were enhanced with dams, forming a moat system unparalleled in Britain at the time. Once abandoned due to shifting political fortunes, the walls endured the passage of centuries before restoration began. Even in ruin, the fortress exudes raw power with leaning towers and cracked walls telling silent, evocative stories. Onlookers are struck by the castle's powerful stone construction, its broad arcs, and the enchanting island environment. Reflections in the still lakes double the castle's grandeur, lending a timeless quality to its rugged silhouette. The ruins offer a cinematic scene, blending romantic decay with purposeful defensive design. Every scar and lean in the stonework speaks of battles, endurance, and the passage of time. This fortress remains a powerful testament to the marriage of ambition, water, and architectural mastery. A serene mountain lake holds a deep legend about a mysterious woman who emerged from its waters long ago. A young man once promised to marry this enchanting lady under strict condition that shaped their future together. He was never to strike her 3 times, and the origin of their bond had to remain a secret forever. For many years, their life flourished as the couple raised a family in a home built with love and care. His livestock grew healthier and more prosperous, turning him into a respected figure in the surrounding community. His success and generosity helped the local people thrive, making the area a place of prosperity and goodwill. However, over time, the man's pride led him to break the sacred promise by striking his wife 3 times. Immediately, the woman returned to the lake, taking with her all the cattle and sheep that once symbolized their fortune. The lake offers a beautiful walking trail that ascends gently toward the water, passing a historic dam. Hikers are rewarded with stunning views from nearby peaks, overlooking the lake and its mountainous surroundings. The path is well maintained, making it accessible for many who seek both adventure and tranquility in nature. The tranquil surroundings and sweeping mountain views make this lake a perfect spot for reflection and calm. Have you ever explored the cultural tales and legends surrounding here before? If yes, comment 2. If no, comment 4. The walk to the lake follows a well-formed path that climbs steadily through Llyn Idwal, offering stunning views of the surrounding mountains. The lake itself sits nestled beneath jagged peaks, its crystal-clear waters shimmering in shades of emerald and turquoise depending on the light. Llyn Idwal's dramatic cliffs and rocky slopes create a striking backdrop, making the area one of the most picturesque spots in Snowdonia. Walking around the lake is easy, with gentle terrain and several photo-worthy angles, revealing ever-changing perspectives of the water and mountains. The small gravel beach at the southern end of the lake is the perfect place to rest, relax, and even dip your toes or swim in the cold, refreshing water. Swimming here is a unique experience, as the lake is surprisingly deep and remarkably clear, allowing you to see the stunning colors beneath the surface. Many visitors prefer calm, sunny days when the lake becomes like glass, perfectly reflecting the towering peaks of Llyn Idwal. The trail begins at a nearby car park and is popular, so visiting early or late in the day can provide a more peaceful experience. This beautiful lake within Llyn Idwal offers a rewarding escape into the wild heart of the mountains. In the late 1800s, engineers began building the dam as part of a vast plan to deliver fresh water to Birmingham. Completed around 1904, the dam played a crucial role in maintaining consistent water levels for gravity-fed flow through a 73-mile aqueduct to the city. Unlike typical dams, its main function isn't water retention but to keep the reservoir above it, Caban Coch, at a constant depth, ensuring the submerged inlet tower can function effectively. This innovative design allowed water to be extracted from deep within the valley, while preserving the appearance of a continuous lake. The dam blends seamlessly with its surroundings and was constructed using local stone, contributing to its visual harmony with the Llyn Valley landscape. Its elegant central viaduct, which also acts as a roadway, was built to serve both functional and aesthetic purposes. Garreg Ddu was part of one of the most ambitious civil engineering projects of the Victorian era, showcasing advanced planning in both engineering and environmental integration. The project required the displacement of local communities and involved the construction of workers' villages, including schools and churches. We gather info from many sources. If something seems off, or you've got more to add, drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Completed in the early 20th century, Pen o Garreg Dam is one of several built to supply water from the Llyn Valley to Birmingham. Its central tower, often mistaken for a decorative feature, conceals a hidden tunnel running through the heart of the dam. Surrounded by dramatic hills and thick forest, the dam blends Victorian engineering with the raw beauty of Welsh wilderness. Stone foundations lie buried beneath centuries of change, holding the memory of empires, kings, and conquering hands. Thick outer walls once repelled invaders, their layered masonry stitched with Roman bricks, still visible between weathered stone. A keep rises boldly from its moat, built for defense but now offering panoramic views of the evolving city beyond. From above, battlements frame the skyline, a meeting of medieval grit and modern motion in quiet, watchful contrast. Inside, long echoing corridors connect rooms once filled with feasts, strategy, silence, and the hush of power. Chambers reveal Victorian imagination, ceilings painted like skies, where stars and saints seem to float in midnight blue. Golden arches and stained glass illuminate corners where nothing now stirs but light and passing footsteps. Intricate carvings depict legends and lore, mythical creatures and noble lineages spiraling across beams and doorways. Tapestries and tiles tell stories without words, binding centuries together through color, thread, and quiet symbolism. Even the grandest rooms hold traces of solitude, spaces built to impress, but also to contain private thought. Below, underground shelters recall a more recent fear, when sirens echoed and families gathered in anxious quiet. Outside, ivy wraps its fingers across high ramparts, softening the silhouette of fortification with slow, green persistence. Do you know which famous historical figures once lived in Cardiff Castle? If you do, feel free to share your knowledge so everyone can learn more. The lake stretches long and narrow between steep ridges, mirroring the rugged beauty of the surrounding mountain peaks. Its waters, deep and still, often glow with silver or slate hues, depending on the shifting light above. Along the shoreline, scattered stones and mossy trunks hint at the lake's ancient glacial origins and quiet resilience. Old quarry buildings and slate remnants nearby add texture to the landscape, weaving human history into natural splendor. On calm days, reflections blur the line between land and sky, creating a surreal, almost dreamlike sense of place. Mist curls around towering summits, casting shifting shadows across valleys carved by ice and time's patient hand. Wind sweeps through craggy ridges, carrying whispers of ancient legends and the wildness that shaped these lands. Glacial amphitheaters reveal scars of millennia, where frozen giants once gripped the mountains in icy embrace. Lakes lie still like mirrors, perfectly capturing the movement of clouds and the jagged edges of surrounding peaks. Waterfalls tumble relentlessly through deep canyons, their roar blending with rustling heather and distant bird calls. Mountain streams cross rugged paths without bridges, leaving stones slick with moss underfoot for wandering travelers. Scent of damp earth mingles with fragrant heather, intensified after rainfall saturates the peat-rich uplands. Shrubby bracken carpets, lower slopes, giving way to bare rock and hardy alpine plants at higher elevations. Wildlife thrives in fragile habitats, protected by dedicated efforts to balance nature with human curiosity. Snow-capped ridges and scree slopes challenge climbers seeking both thrill and quiet reflection in vast solitude. Changing seasons transform the landscape, from vibrant summer blooms to winter's stark, crystalline beauty. Celtic myths intertwine with natural grandeur, creating a landscape where history and nature feel inseparable. Low temperatures and clear skies offer some of the best stargazing, far from city lights and noise. Footpaths wind through remote areas, inviting hikers to explore rugged terrain while respecting delicate ecosystems. Conservation projects focus on preserving rare species and preventing damage caused by increasing visitor numbers. Spectacular waterfalls draw thousands of visitors each year, captivating all with natural beauty throughout every season. Gentle uphill paths lead to the falls, stretching about 1.5 miles and accessible to wheelchairs and pushchairs. Rest areas along the trail offer perfect spots to pause, admire the scenery, and enjoy peaceful picnics outdoors. Information centers halfway along the route provide fascinating insights into the valley's rich and varied history. Several parking options exist for visitors, with some located just beyond the nearby village and others closer to its center. Two paid car parks require small fees per day and sit roughly half a mile past the village's edge. Narrow single-track roads with limited passing places can cause delays during busy periods for drivers heading to these car parks. Free car parks at the village bottom offer alternatives, adding about a mile to the walking distance for visitors. People walking the longer trail commonly stop by the village's cozy information centers to view historical exhibits. Cafes in the village provide great opportunities to rest and refuel before continuing the trek toward the falls. Public transport options connect the village well to nearby towns, offering frequent and convenient bus services. trails remain well maintained, ensuring safe and enjoyable experiences for families, casual walkers, and outdoor enthusiasts alike. Falls cascade dramatically into rocky pools, creating stunning visual and auditory experiences for all visitors. Surrounding woodland and lush greenery enhance peaceful atmospheres, inviting visitors to linger and absorb nature's tranquility. Efforts to manage visitor numbers and parking congestion help preserve the area's beauty while maintaining accessibility year-round. Constructed to resemble a cascading waterfall during overflow, the dam was the first structure to be developed in the reservoir project. Stone quarried nearby provided the inner materials, while the exterior featured sandstone imported from a distant region. The dam's name translates to Red Cabin, reflecting a local historical or cultural reference. According to a senior engineer involved in the project, floodwaters create a spectacular effect, pouring over the dam's crest from a height exceeding 120 feet. A continuous flow of compensation water is released from the dam's base into a downstream river system, ensuring ecological balance. Legal agreements mandated this water release when the reservoir estate was acquired to protect the health of connected waterways. The dam is conveniently located within a short walking distance from the main visitor facilities. Its design and operation exemplify a careful blend of engineering ingenuity and environmental responsibility. The dam's impressive waterfall effect during floods attracts many visitors who admire its combination of natural beauty and engineering skill. Regular maintenance ensures the structure remains safe and functional while preserving its iconic appearance and historical significance. Under skies that mirror the restless sea and changing seasons, the shore stretches out in a tapestry of rock, salt, and history. Edges here are defined not by pavement, but by the ebb of tides, molded over millennia by cliffs worn by wind and the quiet dance of waves. Nature's wild spirit persists here, not in grand displays, but in steady rhythm, where ancient conversations flow between land and sea. Rugged cliffs of limestone and sandstone plunge into the Irish and Celtic seas, shaped by wind and endless tide. Along the coast, modern chefs and foragers gather seaweed, breathing new life into centuries-old culinary traditions. Surf breaks, snorkel trails, and paddleboard routes wind through coves and cliffs alive with underwater biodiversity. Sea winds sweep over sacred ground, where ancient stones and burial sites endure through mist and fading light. Like craftsmen with no need for haste, waves wear the sandstone into curves and crevices with meditative persistence. Rolling tides trace silver beaches and stony inlets, scattering seaweed and driftwood shaped by distant currents. Lichen-laced cliffs hide puffin burrows, where flashes of bright orange beaks gleam like ornaments of the coast. Noisy flocks spiral above the cliffs each spring, crash-landing clumsily near tunnels carved into windswept turf. On land, they waddle with endearing awkwardness, but in the air they soar sharply, slicing through coastal winds with ease. Where veils of mist crown rugged mountains above serene valleys, what world unfolds beyond the reach of urban clamor? Each hilltop, flowing stream, and open stretch of heath bears the imprint of centuries, molded by elements and ancient human touch. Time-worn stone fences outline historic lands as the sky dips near, embracing the undulating ridges and lush slopes below. Encompassing around 520 square miles, the Brecon Beacons National Park was officially designated in 1957 across South and Mid Wales. Featuring old red sandstone and limestone grit, the park's geology has sculpted waterfalls, caves, glacial cirques, and vibrant river valleys. Across much of the park, soft grassy slopes climb gradually with sharper ridge lines cutting through for miles under expansive skies. Fields and footpaths are segmented by weathered stone walls, centuries old, helping travelers navigate uneven landscapes. Streams and rivers thread through the countryside, their waters sparkling as they flow over worn rocks and gather quietly in pools before disappearing into forested dells. Karst geology is evident where limestone ridges host caves and sinkholes, sculpted by long periods of subterranean erosion. Pastoral heritage remains visible through agricultural villages, shepherded fields, and sheep grazing peacefully amid the rise of tourism. Mountain ponies, built tough with dense coats, wander the rugged highlands confidently across the park's demanding terrain. Narrow trails and broad ridgelines challenge hikers who navigate changing weather and rocky terrain for stunning, wide-ranging views. How does a fortress live on when its wars have ceased and its stones symbolize memory over power? Perched high on a hill, the castle stands as both a silent relic and a witness to centuries past, its broken gatehouse and open courtyard exposed to the elements. The stillness surrounding the fortress speaks not of absence, but of history, the echoes of battles, steadfast walls, and endless vistas beyond sight. Interiors may have faded with the years, yet the fortress's commanding location stays vivid in every stone upon the lofty Llwydian slopes. Sitting high upon a steep hill overlooking the Vale of Llwydian, the castle surveys rolling fields and far-reaching Llwydian hills. Remnants of the triple-towered gatehouse loom impressively, providing both architectural grandeur and a passageway into the castle's historic heart. Open courtyards framed by crumbling stone walls tell stories of past glory, now mingled with grass and tangled thorns. Against the vast open sky, worn stone arches stand fractured, their rough surfaces cloaked in moss from centuries of rain. Every cracked and vine-covered piece of masonry reflects the dedication of its makers and the enduring patience of natural decay. Looking out from the fortress walls, the eye follows patchwork fields and the gentle rise and fall of distant Llwydian hills. Divided by language and tradition, the Upper Walled Borough and Lower Welsh Township tell stories of coexistence and layered history. Exposed to the elements, the castle endures as a sculpted form, its courtyard a luminous hollow shaped by design and decay. Here, time moves slowly, folding past and present together beneath low clouds, drifting over shared valleys and ridges. Rolling hills ascend steadily, inviting wanderers toward peaks where silence deepens and views unfold endlessly like a grand panorama. Weathered by time and wind, this commanding height reveals nature's grandeur through expansive views across both valley and upland. Frequented by adventurers, the Ridge Walk showcases the peak's commanding presence as both a physical and symbolic high point. Distant hills melt into smoky blue shadows, their outlines softened beneath a sky dappled with drifting clouds. Winding gently through lush green valleys, the river carves its scenic path, filled with rich history and natural beauty. Its clear, shimmering waters reflect ancient woodlands and towering limestone cliffs, creating peaceful scenes of serene tranquility. Along the riverbanks, diverse wildlife thrives among wildflowers and whispering reeds, offering safe refuge to birds, otters, and other creatures. Seasonal changes transform the river's flow, swelling with spring rains and settling into a gentle, calming murmur throughout the summer months. Historic towns and villages line the river's course, where stone bridges and quaint cottages blend naturally into the picturesque landscape. Anglers enjoy quiet afternoons casting lines in hidden pools, while adventurous kayakers navigate twisting bends with excitement and skill. Well-maintained trails run close to the river, inviting walkers to explore verdant woods, open meadows, and scenic viewpoints. Positioned between twin beaches, the castle surveys the town below, remaining a strong and mostly complete fortress. Those exploring the site can almost see the castle as it was in its prime, filling in the missing pieces left behind by age. The nearby town, often called the Pearl of Wales on the shores of Snowdonia, offers a charming seaside retreat with beautiful beaches and easy access to the national park. Originally built in the 13th century by a powerful Welsh prince, the castle was later modified after being captured by English forces. Throughout its history, the fortress endured several sieges, including during rebellions led by native Welsh leaders, with some walls still bearing scorch marks today. Although now in ruins, the castle remains a popular subject for artists and visitors alike, admired for its dramatic twin towers. From its elevated position, breathtaking views stretch over the town, beaches, and the expansive bay beyond, making the visit unforgettable. The castle and town together offer a perfect blend of history, natural beauty, and access to some of the most stunning coastal and mountain landscapes in the region. Snaking over rocky terrain, Horseshoe Pass treats travelers to expansive vistas of valleys and remote peaks, sculpted by ancient ice. The narrow road snakes along steep cliffs, inviting adventurous travelers to experience the wild beauty of this mountainous landscape. Changing seasons bring vivid green hues in summer and snowy white blankets in winter, accentuating the dramatic curves of the pass. Through gentle hills of green, a winding road leads to the expansive sea, where rugged cliffs drop onto sun-drenched sands and the wind breathes salty stories. At the path's conclusion, a timeless bay lies calm and vast, its quiet elegance speaking volumes without noise. Slowly unfolding before the eye, a shimmering sandy arc nearly 3 miles in length is cradled by wild moor and dunes. Where shifting tides sculpt the rocks and the horizon melts into the sea, solitude feels deeply elemental, as if the earth breathes quietly. Along the southwestern tip of the peninsula lies a vast curve of golden sand, nearly 3 miles long, flanked by natural dunes and cliffs. Offshore, Worm's Head consists of twin tidal islets that become accessible only at low tide, presenting bold silhouettes against the horizon for intrepid explorers. The headland, mainly composed of Carboniferous limestone, features layered cliffs, sculpted wave platforms, and sharp ledges shaped by continuous erosion over millennia. For only a brief window each day, the causeway to Worm's Head becomes visible, a treacherous, narrow trail over rocks and pools. Endless patterns form on the sands, with wind-shaped ripples and waving dune grasses beside a sea, shifting from light aqua to deep sapphire. As a filming site, Rhossili lends its timeless atmosphere and sweeping landscape to productions such as Doctor Who and Torchwood. Golden sands, untamed moorland, and a lone headland come together to create a profound sense of solitude, where earth meets sky and sea. Coastal gusts carry songs through the resilient marram grass, while rhythmic waves slam against the sandy curve, and clouds slowly shadow the water. Beneath towering peaks, a tranquil lake reflects the rugged mountains and ever-changing skies with perfect clarity. Cold, clear waters feed the lake from mountain streams, creating a pristine environment cherished by walkers and nature lovers alike. Ancient legends whisper around this lake, suggesting it holds mysteries and stories from long before recorded history. In summer months, gentle breezes ripple across the water, while in winter, the lake's surface may freeze, turning it into a silent, glassy expanse. Surrounding paths offer hikers breathtaking views of both the lake and the dramatic slopes rising steeply from its shores. Quiet and remote, the lake remains a peaceful sanctuary where the natural beauty of the mountains feels deeply alive and timeless. Only during low tide does the rocky path emerge, granting a brief opportunity to reach the remote island ahead. Sharp rocks and hidden potholes make the crossing treacherous, especially for dogs or those with limited mobility. Many underestimate the tide's speed, and each year walkers become stranded by fast-moving waters and powerful cross-currents. Caution is essential, as rescue efforts are not always possible, and fatalities have occurred from mistimed returns. Volunteers watch from a weathered lookout, offering updates and advice to help ensure safe passage for those venturing out. Once across, visitors find a windswept sanctuary of sea-slicked stone, often shared with seals lazing on sunlit rocks. From the headland, views back across the sweeping curve of sand and cliffs are nothing short of spectacular. In calm weather, the silence is broken only by seabirds and waves, making the journey feel like a step beyond the everyday world. For more than 2 centuries, the lighthouse has kept watch from its windswept perch atop a jagged offshore formation. Access requires descending steep cliffside steps, then crossing a narrow suspension bridge that spans a deep marine chasm below. Construction challenges were monumental, materials transported by ropeway from boats and lifted from ledges along the cliff face. Surviving brutal storms and battering seas, the tower still stands as proof of ingenuity and determined maritime engineering. Early warning systems began as oil-lit reflectors rotating under clockwork, evolving later into advanced Fresnel lens assemblies of light. In dense fog, even the brightest beam proved ineffective, prompting creation of a movable lower light that enhanced shoreline visibility. But navigation hazards persisted, and so a fog bell and later a powerful foghorn were added to warn mariners when visibility failed. Over time, technologies advanced, and automation replaced the need for keepers, ending the era of constant human presence in the tower. Today, visitors descend the long staircase, explore the island's rugged outcrops, and marvel at dramatic clifftop views of the sea. Around the tower, a dedicated nature reserve teems with seabirds nesting in narrow ledges and crashing surf below. From the lighthouse perch, vistas stretch along coastal synclines, capturing the intertwining of natural grandeur and navigational legacy. Each gust of salt wind brings echoes of shipwrecks, storms, and the centuries of warning flashes that saved countless sailors. The island's color shifts with the seasons, from stormy grays to brilliant greens, framed by ever-changing sky and tide. Even removed from its light source, the tower silhouette remains a symbolic sentinel, reminding us of human determination and perilous seas. Generations now climb the steps to experience the same panoramic coastal drama, once reserved for 19th century keepers. Engineers crafted this aqueduct to master difficult land conditions, using innovative thinking and courageous structural approaches. It was designed to carry a navigable waterway over a deep valley using pioneering construction techniques for its time. By combining strong iron with durable stone, the builders achieved a perfect balance of purpose and visual appeal. The water channel is supported by a series of tall, narrow piers that create a dramatic visual impression. Its iron trough rests securely on these stone supports, demonstrating an advanced understanding of load-bearing structures. Constructing such a waterway required innovative methods, especially given the difficult terrain and lack of modern machinery. The structure played a crucial role in improving transport efficiency during the height of industrial expansion. Engineers crafted this aqueduct to master difficult land conditions using innovative thinking and courageous structural approaches. It was designed to carry a navigable waterway over a deep valley using pioneering construction techniques for its time. By combining strong iron with durable stone, the builders achieved a perfect balance of purpose and visual appeal. The water channel is supported by a series of tall, narrow piers that create a dramatic visual impression. Its iron trough rests securely on these stone supports, demonstrating an advanced understanding of load-bearing structures. Constructing such a waterway required innovative methods, especially given the difficult terrain and lack of modern machinery. The structure played a crucial role in improving transport efficiency during the height of industrial expansion. Transport efficiency increased greatly, with goods and raw materials moving faster and more consistently over long distances. The canal system it supports became a vital link in the economic development of near. Winning the national title as the best pier in recent years highlights its unique charm and enduring popularity. Stretching far into the open sea, it offers stunning views and a refreshing experience along the wooden walkway. People come to admire the finely crafted ironwork, artistic details, and the timeless nostalgic appeal of its design. The structure has stood for generations, serving as a place for leisure celebration and shared coastal memories. It was carefully constructed in the late 19th century and has been cherished by locals and tourists ever since. Throughout the years, it has been maintained and restored to preserve both its beauty and its cultural significance. Time and weather have taken their toll, but dedicated preservation has kept its original look remarkably well preserved. The addition of a towering observation wheel gives visitors a breathtaking perspective of the sea and surrounding land. Along its length, guests can enjoy arcade games, sweet treats, and traditional seaside food from small stalls. Laughter and music fill the air from the funfair rides and occasional live performances held on summer evenings. At the far end, a welcoming bar offers refreshments with panoramic views, perfect for watching the sunset. Many enjoy fishing from the platform, where the sea breeze and peaceful sounds create a calming atmosphere. Surrounding landscapes, including steep cliffs and long coastlines, add natural beauty to the lively seaside scene. Families, couples, and solo travelers alike find joy in exploring the walkway and experiencing its vibrant atmosphere. Covering a distance exceeding 5 kilometers, this outstanding structure joins two regions divided by a wide tidal estuary. It was officially renamed in the summer of 2018, sparking conversations about its political and cultural significance. The bridge features tall pylons standing over 100 meters high that support a long central span of nearly 500 meters. A total of over 200 cables hold the roadway steady above strong tidal currents and coastal winds. Built to ease traffic congestion from an earlier crossing, it provides 6 lanes of vital transport capacity. The structure's sleek design combines functional engineering with modern architectural beauty, creating a striking landmark. Thousands of people walked across the bridge on its opening day, turning a busy motorway into a festive promenade. The removal of tolls at the end of 2018 was welcomed as a boost for economic connection between neighboring regions. On clear days, the bridge's smooth surfaces reflect sunlight, highlighting its geometric and metallic elegance. Its massive size becomes apparent from afar, with slender cables and towering pylons standing above tidal mudflats. The reflective waters at high tide create a mirror image of the steel spans and shifting sky above. Beyond transportation, the bridge symbolizes shared geography and economic ties, but also evokes debates on regional identity. Its long, low profile and pale steel materials harmonize with the natural environment of the estuary it crosses. Red brick construction at Amhluk Port showcases the durability and style typical of industrial maritime sites. Copper mining nearby greatly influenced the port's development into a major export hub during the 18th century. Trade through this port connected local industries with wider markets, boosting the region's economic growth. Workers and sailors depended on port facilities to support the transport of raw materials and finished goods. Infrastructure improvements made during the 19th century allowed accommodation of larger vessels and increased cargo. Preservation efforts protect red brick buildings, maintaining their historical value for future generations and visitors. Economic changes caused a decline in industrial shipping, but cultural significance kept the port relevant as a heritage site. Craftsmanship visible in the port's architecture highlights practical design, blended with period-specific stylistic elements. Community involvement has been key in promoting awareness about the port's importance in regional history. Steep headland juts into the sea, nearly cut off from land by an ancient glacial valley. Clifftop paths wind through blooming heather, offering sweeping views of open water and rugged coastline. Grassy slopes offer open pasture for grazing sheep, while wildflowers bloom seasonally across the upland meadows. Coastal trail loops around the headland, blending scenic beauty with remnants of local farming heritage. Rising to 1,085 meters, this mountain claims the highest point in Wales, drawing hundreds of thousands of climbers each year. Multiple routes wind up its slopes, from gentle gradients to exposed ridgelines that demand experience, confidence, and caution. Even in summer, shifting clouds and sudden winds can turn the path into a test of resilience and awareness. Each trail rewards the climb with sweeping views of lakes, valleys, and a sense of achievement unique to standing above the land. This peak represents not only a physical summit, but also a personal challenge, calling adventurers from near and far to rise with it. Silent battlements rise above tidal waters in northwest Wales, their geometric design both deliberate and symbolic. Striking towers with alternating pale and dark stone demonstrate not only architectural skill, but also a vision of power. This castle represents centuries of ambition and resistance, etched into every block of weathered limestone. Constructed in the late 13th and early 14th centuries, The fortress was part of a strategic chain, asserting dominance. Its design draws inspiration from Byzantine architecture, reflecting both military strength and political symbolism. Polygonal towers and banded limestone walls convey messages of authority and fortified defense. The curtain walls form a near-complete circle with multiple towers and twin gatehouses, remarkably well preserved today. A museum dedicated to military history resides within the fortress, managed by heritage organizations to educate visitors. Views from the ramparts reveal medieval streets winding down toward the harbor and tidal waters below. While admired for its precision and strength, local perspectives emphasize the complex history of struggle and resilience. At sunset, the stone walls glow warmly, reflecting stories of conquest, survival, and cultural identity. Nearby, town walls echo the castle's design, creating a defensive ring built within a few years of the fortress itself. These structures are recognized as an outstanding example of medieval military architecture and heritage preservation. Beneath the shifting skies of Powys, where the hills ripple like a green tide and ancient woodlands murmur in the breeze, something extraordinary tumbles down the stone face of the bare Llyn Mountains. Here, where time feels suspended and silence is shaped by the rush of falling water, nature reveals one of its most dramatic performances, ethereal, enduring, and laced with legend. Pistyll Rhaeadr plunges over 240 feet in 3 elegant tiers, carving a silver path through the rugged heart of the Berwyn Range. The uppermost drop spills like silk from a cliff of ancient rock, casting fine mist that sparkles in shafts of sunlight. Surrounding moss-covered stones and twisted oak branches cradle the cascade in a frame of timeless green and gold. Water crashes into shadowy pools with rhythmic power, echoing off the valley walls like a natural hymn to the land. Legends cling to its spray. Tales of saints, spirits, and solitude echo where stone, sky, and stream meet in quiet majesty. Numerous trails around the village invite visitors to experience hiking, mountain biking, and breathtaking natural scenery. Locally sourced food and drink served in cafes and restaurants highlight the region's rich culinary traditions. Adventure activities, including the fastest zip wire and underground trampolines, offer excitement for thrill seekers. Direct bookings with accommodation providers support the community and encourage sustainable investment in the area. Among the brooding hills of North Wales, where slate once shaped both skyline and society, a forgotten chasm lies flooded and still. What was once carved by generations of quarrymen now rests beneath glassy waters that shimmer with secrets and memory. Beginning in the 1820s, the site evolved into one of the region's most prolific producers, fueling roofs and economies across Britain. At its height, in the 1870s, the quarry extracted over 17,000 tons of finished slate annually, shaping both jobs and geology. Slate veins run vertically for over 100 meters, plunging below the water table, exposed like scars across the Nantole Valley. Rusting pump houses and weathered machinery perch like ghosts above sheer slate cliffs now mirrored in green-blue water. Nature has reclaimed the silence, softening industrial edges with moss, reeds, and the eerie calm of submerged heritage. Since its closure in 1970, the pits have filled with water, forming lakes both beautiful and perilous to those who enter. Despite repeated accidents, divers continue to be drawn to its depths, unofficial and unmapped, where danger hides beneath stillness. Dorothea speaks of ambition, exhaustion, and abandonment, a reminder of labor lost and the cost of industrial transformation. It stands now as both monument and warning, silent, reflective, and forever changed by what was taken and what was left behind. Years of wind, water, and history have created a tranquil town that draws visitors to its soothing coastal charm. Soft morning light spreads across rooftops and narrow streets, tracing the town's gentle slope toward the shoreline. Pastel-colored houses lean into winding lanes, their painted walls reflecting both history and the salt-washed air. Cobbled paths descend naturally to golden sands, where waves curl softly and boats rock gently in sheltered waters. Stone cottages, with worn shutters and flowering windowsills, glow beneath shifting skies of mist or afternoon sun. The harbor breathes with the tides, sometimes bustling, sometimes still, always echoing the pulse of the sea. Gulls cry overhead, their shadows skimming low walls, while the scent of salt and seaweed drifts through alleyways. The layout of the streets feels unplanned but purposeful, guided by the land's contours and the call of the coast. On distant cliffs, weathered paths wind through grass and rock, as shaped by footsteps spanning many generations. A fortress of stone stands atop a tidal islet, its silence broken only by waves and the occasional caw of seabirds. Thick walls rise from bedrock, softened now by moss and time, yet still bearing traces of their defensive past. At low tide, the islet reveals a narrow causeway, letting visitors cross briefly between seabound solitude and land. The town and its fort feel inseparable, each echoing the other in form, texture, and the memory of coastal life. Beyond the bay, castles emerge across the countryside like ancient guardians, watching rivers, ridgelines, and changing skies. Along the western edge of Wales, the land tapers into a rugged finger of granite that seems drawn toward the horizon by tide and time. A remote coastal landform emerges not suddenly but slowly, felt in the hush of waves, enduring language and contours shaped by belief and belonging. The peninsula stretches into the Irish Sea like a mythic arm of ancient stone, holding quiet bays, meadows, and weather-worn cliffs. Remote chapels and windswept paths trace pilgrimage routes walked for centuries, where solitude and sacred geography intertwine. Even on storm-laced days, the coastline holds a stark, poetic grandeur, its beaches, skies, and moorlands woven with memory and myth. In the ever-changing waters of the Menai Strait, a small and unassuming island rests quietly between two great bridges. Its silhouette rises and recedes with the tides, revealing stone boundaries, reed beds, and remnants of past human touch. Perched just above sea level, the island holds a modest house and a converted smokehouse tied to traditional fishing. Once a vital fishery outpost, its smokehouse processed salmon and herring caught in traps anchored to surrounding tidal flows. Though measuring under 2 acres at high tide, the island expands up to nearly 4 acres when waters withdraw. Its history stretches back to at least 1590, when it was leased in exchange for annual payments of fresh herring. The Diocese of Bangor once claimed the land, linking spiritual authority with coastal subsistence in quiet, enduring reciprocity. Surrounded by sea and sky, the island appears both fragile and eternal, a sentinel anchored between past industry and present beauty. Its location, framed by the elegant sweep of the Menai Suspension Bridge, makes it a favorite subject for painters and photographers. Ynys Gwynant reminds visitors that even the smallest landforms can carry centuries of story, tide-shaped and time-worn. Weather-beaten walls stand silent above the cliffs, their cracked plaster whispering stories lost to wind and time. Salt air curls through broken windows, rusting hinges and peeling paint, where once voices echoed and fires burned. Wild grasses now crowd the doorstep, growing between stone slabs that once welcomed generations of coastal life. From the edge, the sea remains unchanged, endlessly moving, reflecting a home that time could not quite erase. Some landscapes do more than simply exist on maps. They loom large in the imagination, shaped by weather, myth, and memory. Over centuries, wind and salt have carved certain headlands into monumental forms that feel less like geology and more like sleeping creatures of legend. Their silhouettes, visible from far away, awaken something ancient within the observer, as if the land itself stands as guardian between sea and sky. These are places where the everyday fades, and light, stone, and silence come together in lasting harmony. Great Orme is a striking limestone headland, rising nearly 207 meters above Llandudno, its winding silhouette visible from miles offshore and offering calm to the town below. The name Great Orme derives from Old Norse, meaning serpent in head, a fitting description given how Viking sailors saw this dragon-like promontory. From summit to lower slopes, the terrain shifts between jagged crags and soft rolling turf, each step revealing fresh contours. Cliffs fall away sharply, where stone meets sea in quiet drama, their surfaces weathered by salt-laden winds. The headland curves like a resting beast, its ridges and slopes resembling shoulders and spine. Recognized as a special area of conservation and heritage coast, the area is home to grazing feral Kashmir goats, introduced in the 19th century, now numbering around 200. This landscape has inspired poets and artists through the ages, with its mines, cliffs, and shifting light, continuing to provoke creative reflection. Sea thyme and bloody cranesbill cling to rocky ledges, painting tiny gardens of color even on the sheer cliff faces. Great Orme's blend of natural beauty, history, and myth make it a place where the elemental and the eternal meet. What now appears as a ruin was once a formidable stronghold, rising from tide-washed rock to guard naval passageways. Completed in the early 1850s, it was armed with heavy artillery to defend the nearby dockyard from maritime threats. Constructed from limestone and brick, the fort's walls still endure the unrelenting forces of wind, tide, and salt air. Though long abandoned, it remains a striking monument, its battered facade a testament to Victorian engineering and military ambition. Inside, moss carpets old gun chambers, while seabird cries echo through empty corridors where soldiers once stood watch. Designated both a Grade II listed building and scheduled monument, the structure holds national historical value. Time and nature have transformed it from stronghold to relic, weathered, mysterious, and quietly cinematic. Nowhere else does fortress stone hold such gravity, its silence weightier than words, shaped by both war and waiting. Climbing above the estuary, towers and turrets rise not in haste, but with the permanence of centuries behind them. Set beside tidal waters and narrow medieval lanes, the castle anchors both landscape and memory in unwavering stone. Footsteps echo beneath vaulted ceilings, where kings once plotted and rebels once whispered beneath cold arches. Before its name is heard, its silhouette is already known, weather-worn and serrated, etched into the coastal skyline. Built in the 1280s under royal command, the structure formed part of a deliberate defensive statement across North Wales. Its 8 towers dominate the shoreline, standing in quiet formation above walls that once bristled with soldiers. Viewed from the river, the symmetry is striking, massive yet elegant, a geometry of rule cast in raw stone. Encircling town walls stretch for nearly a mile, crowned with 21 towers that trace a fortified medieval heartbeat. Each gatehouse marks a passage through time, where trade, tribute, and tension once passed beneath watchful eyes. Architectural details reveal Savoyard influence, a blend of Gothic grace with uncompromising military intent. Even in conflict, the castle's strength earned respect. Its partial dismantling left behind dignity rather than ruin. Sunset light turns the sandstone golden, illuminating centuries of lichen, moss, and wind-worn texture. Unrestored in spirit, the castle remains raw and resonant, less a monument, more a memory still standing. From its heights, the estuary widens below, boats drifting over silted tides that remember every siege and silence. Rising from a rocky dome above sand and sea, the fortress commands both coastline and sky with silent authority. Its layered walls and towers reflect Crusader-influenced design, built for domination and permanence in a shifting land. Morning mist softens the stone, where light bleeds into gray-green walls above fields of wind-blown marram grass. Though centuries have passed, the structure endures, weathered but whole, now welcoming visitors with stories and stillness. Subtle contrasts in sandstone colors reveal both military intent and unexpected beauty shaped by local geology. Recognition as a World Heritage Site confirms its importance among Europe's finest examples of medieval fortress architecture. Below the heights, the town lives quietly, its cottages and crafts offering a rural rhythm beneath enduring stone walls. Historic mining landscapes surround the coastal town, where colored earth and industrial ruins still mark the terrain. Paths hugging the edge of the cliffs allow people to admire dramatic coastal scenes and distant harbors. Local heritage centers preserve stories of copper trade, sea routes, and generations of maritime labor and resilience. Weekly markets bring together handmade crafts, local produce, and the quiet rhythm of rural community life. Fishing spots and golf courses lie within easy reach, offering both relaxation and challenge in coastal settings. Old quarries and trails attract those interested in geology, photography, and the layers of human impact on nature. Seaside cliffs lead toward quiet beaches where soft sand, rock pools, and seabirds create a peaceful retreat. Ferries depart from nearby ports, making cross-sea travel accessible for spontaneous trips and cultural exploration. Ancient burial chambers and weathered ruins reflect deep roots of settlement across surrounding hills and valleys. Time-worn roads and stone-built homes hold echoes of tradition, industry, and the enduring presence of coastal life. Two magnificent bridges stretch across the Menai Strait, creating vital connections between Anglesey and the mainland. Ingenious engineering by famous pioneers shaped these iconic structures that have stood for nearly 2 centuries. Suspension cables of iron hold a roadway high above water, allowing tall ships to pass freely underneath. Strong stone towers anchor the cables, rising dramatically from the riverbanks against ever-changing skies. A nearby bridge features a box girder design originally built to carry trains across turbulent waters below. After a devastating fire, the structure was rebuilt to accommodate both rail and road traffic simultaneously. Visitors approaching from the town center find a perfect vantage point at the base of the suspension bridge. A historic promenade, built by refugees long ago, leads toward an ancient church on a small nearby island. This peaceful area offers stunning views of the strait, the bridges, and the small island with rich fishing heritage. Many residents once relied on fish traps near the island, sustaining their livelihoods for generations past. Walking paths wind around the church cemetery, providing quiet moments to absorb the coastal scenery. Local shops offer unique antiques and books, while friendly pubs serve fresh seafood from nearby waters. Bridges, waterways, and town life blend together, creating a harmonious scene of history and daily routine. Enjoyment comes from wandering the promenade, while taking in the sights, sounds, and cultural essence of the harbor. Seasons change the colors of the sky and water, casting reflections that enhance the timeless beauty of the place. Transformed from an industrial powerhouse into a coastal ruin, the site bears traces of both human ambition and natural erosion. It was constructed in the early 1900s to produce heat-resistant bricks for steelmaking, though the operation ended within a few years due to harsh harbor conditions. Over time, it became a protected monument, valued for its historical and cultural significance. Many describe the site's atmosphere as cinematic, with derelict structures rising against dramatic sea and sky. Golden rays slip through the ruins at dusk, painting rusted metal and broken concrete with shifting light and shadow. Nearby, the pale quarry walls reflect sunlight, recalling the raw materials once shaped into bricks. Vegetation creeps across the brick remains, softening edges while revealing the slow reclamation of nature. Weathered iron bolts and fixtures cling to the structure like skeletal remains of another time. The only sounds now are seabirds overhead and the constant rhythm of waves striking rock. Serving as a comfortable hub, the village allows easy access to explore both natural wonders and culturally significant landmarks. Local walking and cycling routes provide easy access to mountain trails, valleys, and scenic passes nearby. Recreational paths are designed to accommodate pedestrians, cyclists, and horse riders, enhancing outdoor experiences. Accommodation options in the village range from cozy guest houses and campsites to luxurious self-catering lodgings. Award-winning restaurants and traditional pubs serve locally sourced food, reflecting the region's rich culinary heritage. Learning about the extensive copper mining heritage is possible by visiting the preserved underground workings in the area. Heritage railways pass through the area, providing picturesque journeys connecting nearby towns and countryside. Tourist information centers offer comprehensive guides on local activities, dining, and places to stay for visitors. Anchored into rocky slopes, a sweeping dam of stone and concrete arcs across the valley, merging human ingenuity with the terrain. Designed in the early 20th century, the structure was built to provide a reliable source of drinking water for a distant urban population. Construction began in 1909 and continued until 1921, guided by skilled engineers and managed by a dedicated construction firm. With a height of around 27 meters, the dam holds back the river to form a 5-kilometer-long reservoir. A network of pipes runs underground, carrying water directly to a treatment facility before it is funneled to communities across the border. Original treatment buildings with vintage filter systems still stand, though they have been replaced by modern equipment nearby. The dam today is recognized as a significant work of early 20th century engineering and is legally protected as part of the national heritage. Escaping into the surrounding landscape, walking and cycling trails trace the reservoir's edge and wind through nearby woodland. Along these paths, interpretive panels share stories of local wildlife, folklore, and the upland history embedded in the terrain. Guided tours for young visitors offer a hands-on experience of how infrastructure and nature intersect at this historic site. On calm mornings, mirrored water reflects sky and trees, while mist drifts over the surface in quiet symmetry. Occasional anglers may be seen casting lines into the tranquil water, adding a human presence to the wild setting. Distant hills form a natural backdrop, the ridges softened by the reservoir's steady presence below. Though man-made, the reservoir feels rooted in place, its dam and contours shaped by human need and natural embrace. This site stands as both a testament to technical achievement and a landscape where history, water, and memory flow together. Some towns reveal themselves not with loud displays, but through subtle sounds like footsteps on cobbled streets. A peaceful atmosphere pervades this place, where a gentle river curves softly beside ancient hills and stone buildings. The meeting of history and natural beauty creates a tranquil environment shaped by the passage of many years. Timber-framed pubs and colorful terraces reflect in the flowing water beneath hills guarded by old castles. A medieval stone bridge gracefully spans the river, inspiring admiration and linking past with present. Nearby, towpaths and canal banks invite walkers and boaters to explore the countryside's green, rippling edges. Historic steam trains and barges move slowly along the river, preserving echoes of industrial heritage. Surrounding ancient trees, orchards and meadows form a natural frame for the village's daily life. The town's charm comes from its small size and buildings that follow the natural curves of the land. Structures appear carefully placed to blend with the landscape, showing respect for both nature and history. The harmony between architecture and environment creates a unique sense of peaceful coexistence for visitors. Here, timeless scenes of river, stone, and greenery invite quiet reflection and gentle exploration. Strumble Head Lighthouse was constructed in the early 20th century to improve maritime safety along Wales's treacherous coastline. The lighthouse was built on a small rocky island to warn ships of dangerous reefs and strong currents in the surrounding waters. It has served as a vital navigational aid for over a century, guiding countless vessels safely through the Bristol Channel. Originally operated by lighthouse keepers, the site was later automated, reflecting advances in technology and coastal management. The lighthouse remains a prominent historic landmark, symbolizing the region's rich maritime heritage and commitment to safe navigation. A city rarely unveils its character all at once. It reveals itself gradually through textures, sounds, and shifting skylines. Streets hold memories of empire and resistance, with modern glass rising beside Roman stones and medieval towers. History does not feel distant here. It breathes through every weathered wall and repurposed structure in the city center. Along the bay, old warehouses have transformed into lively cafes and galleries, filled with music, laughter, and coastal wind. Public spaces reflect a city proud of its past, but never stalled by it, always reaching toward the next horizon. Victorian arcades run like veins through the urban heart, sheltering bookshops, boutiques, and echoes of past market chatter. Inside a fortified complex, a Gothic Revival palace rises boldly within ancient Roman and Norman foundations. Stone battlements overlook soft lawns and busy streets, drawing a quiet line between eras of conquest and creativity. From atop the keep, winding steps lead to wide views where church spires, cranes, and stadium lights share the skyline. City Hall, with its domed clock tower and classical detail, stands as a monument to civic pride and national voice. Portland stone glows in morning light, a gleaming counterpoint to the darker fort walls just beyond. Even narrow arrow slits become windows into layered history, where every surface has held weather, shadow, and silence. Cardiff balances its role as a capital with the intimacy of a lived-in, walkable, and expressive cultural space. This is a city where languages meet, where murals and flags speak of heritage, sport, and community strength. Wander long enough, and Cardiff begins to speak, not loudly but clearly, in layers of past and present intertwined. Nowhere does resilience feel more tangible than in a coastal town, where faded grandeur meets hopeful renewal. Old amusements flicker beside fresh murals and wide paths, lined with lamps beginning to shine once more. Waves continue to shape both shore and spirit, erasing, softening, and redrawing the line between past and future. Change here is not sudden. It is found in painted benches, reopened piers, and playgrounds filled with local laughter. The town's Victorian roots remain visible in ironwork details, pier structures, and seafront hotels bearing names of another era. Regeneration projects prioritize people, blending public art with green space and heritage conservation. Local markets hum with energy, stalls offering handmade goods, sea treats, and conversation in both Welsh and English. Brass heritage plaques guide wanderers through stories told in stone, paint, and collective memory. The horizon curves gently along the water's edge, where sea mist meets distant hills and setting sun. Dunes shelter quiet paths behind the beach, with grass shifting like soft sails in the coastal wind. Children run ahead of gulls, while older visitors trace memories in the outlines of old fairground rides. A balance forms between tradition and change, neither overpowering the other, both shaping the new identity. Community centers now stand where silent structures once lingered, offering music nights, film clubs, and local workshops. Each bench along the promenade seems placed not just for rest, but for reflection on what endures. Llyn endures quietly, not seeking spectacle but earning admiration through resilience, reinvention, and coastal soul. Former quarry grounds have been reclaimed by nature, where walking trails weave through stone, grassland, and coastal breeze. Cliffs rise beside tranquil lakes, reflecting changing skies and the wingspan of seabirds drifting along steady currents. Interpretive paths reveal traces of industrial history, now softened by wildflowers and the echo of distant waves. This coastal haven offers peace and quiet, where each step connects visitors with land, sea, and layered memory. It sits on a rugged cliff on the north coast, its silent kilns and chimneys, now a haunting testament to Victorian industry amidst coastal wildness. Built in the early 20th century, the site produced specialized bricks made from quartzite to line steel furnaces, a costly venture that eventually closed due to hazardous harbor conditions. Decades later, it was designated a protected monument, acknowledging its cultural and historical value despite dereliction and sea erosion damage. Photographers and explorers often describe the place as cinematic, a post-apocalyptic movie set where steel-gray ruins frame the wild sea and hills draped in bracken. The kilns, with their curved brick arches and rusted bolts, glow honey gold in the sunset light, contrasting sharply with the cobalt sea behind. Approaching the nearby quarries, pale quartzite walls shine brightly under the sun, recalling the thermal bricks once molded there. Weathered brick walls, mottled with moss and salt, rise unevenly from the grass, their edges softened by time, but still standing firm against the wind. Rusted iron fixtures cling stubbornly, crumbling masonry, resembling skeletal remnants of a vanished era. Sunlight filters through broken roof frames and empty windows, casting shifting grids of light and shadow across cracked concrete floors. The atmosphere is hushed, save for waves crashing on jagged rocks and birds circling chimney tops, an ambience of solitude and industrial ghostliness. Though derelict, the brickwork stands as a bold memorial to industrial ambition and the power of nature to reclaim edge of world places. It remains both a ruin and a seaside symphony, a place where brick, ocean, rust, and rock combine into haunting beauty and quiet story. Time and tide have softened the sharp edges, yet the site's silent presence commands respect and reflection. Visitors often find themselves moved by the contrast between human industry and natural reclamation in this wild coastal setting. Beneath changing skies and the hush of waves against stone, a town has grown, not just from buildings and books, but from language, tradition, and tide. At the edge of Cardigan Bay, a coastal settlement gathers history, learning, and performance into a singular, living rhythm. University life flows through narrow streets, where cafes hum with conversation, and bilingual signs mark the rhythm of everyday life. Rows of Victorian terraces face the sea with uniform chimneys and bay windows, their pastel facades softened by sea, mist, and age. The town curves gently along the shoreline, its built environment shaped by both geography and centuries of coastal development. public buildings combine Gothic details with local stone, their arches and turrets nodding to both scholarship and architectural pride. The ruins of the castle stand on a headland above the sea, their broken walls etched by salt wind and centuries of weathering. Crumbled towers frame views across the bay, offering a glimpse into a time when stone battlements guarded both land and water. Moss grows between the ancient stones, softening the outline of what was once a formidable stronghold in turbulent medieval Wales. Slate roofs shimmer under rain or sunlight, sloping at precise angles to withstand the wind that funnels in from the bay. The built landscape nestles into the natural one, with homes and halls rising in tiers above the shoreline, like an amphitheater facing the sea. Narrow streets rise toward the hillside, each bend revealing fresh perspectives of sea, town, and sky, shared by students and lifelong locales. A promenade stretches along the water's edge, where waves roll in steady rhythm beneath iron railings and lamplight. In late afternoon, the horizon glows amber as the sun lowers over the water, casting long shadows across the town's facades. Aberystwyth remains a place where memory and modernity walk side by side, shaped by language, sea wind, and enduring stone. During the late 11th century, the Normans established a motte and bailey fortress on this site to command the surrounding northern area. In the 13th century, it was reconstructed under royal direction into a concentric design, becoming one of the most formidable medieval strongholds. Over the centuries, it witnessed numerous conflicts during local uprisings and civil wars, before being partially demolished in the mid-17th century to prevent further military use. Originally built in the 12th century, this castle served as a defensive stronghold for religious leaders. Its stone walls and towers were designed to protect the surrounding lands and assert spiritual authority. Through centuries of conflict and decline, the fortress reflected the region's turbulent medieval history. By the 17th century, the structure had fallen into ruin, but remains a valuable historic site today. The ruins provide insight into medieval architecture and the influence of church powers in local governance. Tides roll gently into land shaped by salt, stone, and memory, as gulls trace slow arcs above rooftops tinged with sea light. Beyond shifting sands and weathered paths, a coastal town leans into its landscape, neither entirely of the mountains nor fully of the shore. Framed by estuary and peaks, the town blends natural drama with architectural charm, resting quietly between land and open water. Sunlight reflects off long rows of slate roofs, where sea mist often softens sharp angles and brightens pastel-painted walls. The viaduct stretches like a timber ribbon across the mouth of the estuary, linking time-worn rails to tides and tradition. At low tide, the muddy flats glisten beneath anchored boats, whose faded hulls whisper stories in blue, red, and white. Waves lap beneath old iron railings along the promenade, where footprints from today join decades of seaside memory. A steep footpath leads toward panoramic views, revealing a patchwork of rooftops, sandbars, fishing boats, and mountain ridgelines. Evening colors flood the bay with amber and rose as the horizon swallows the last curve of the sun. A railway tunnel leads to a hidden beach, where silence and salt air create a private world tucked beneath the cliffs. Locals nod along narrow lanes, familiar with the rhythm of wind, gulls, and change that defines their coastal life. Here, time slows to the sound of waves, the creak of boats, and the hush between tides at dusk. Some landscapes speak in whisper rather than shouts, unfolding their stories slowly through wind, stone, and salt air. A remote island reveals itself in fragments, windswept fields, ancient ruins, and shorelines steeped in quiet memory. Secluded cottages nestle between green hedgerows and cliff-lined shores, their walls shaped by salt, silence, and storm. Weathered churches and lichen-covered stones reflect centuries of prayer, pilgrimage, and life shaped by sky and sea. Wild beaches stretch beneath changing skies, where tide marks shimmer and driftwood gathers like offerings to the land. The wind carries scents of gorse, seaweed, and peat smoke, blending past and present in each deep coastal breath. Low hills roll gently inland, where sheep paths cross moorland beneath the wheeling cries of seabirds overhead. Rocky outcrops rise like fossils from a dream, sculpted by rain and wind into shapes both familiar and unknowable. Even on gray days, soft light clings to tidal pools and stone walls, glowing faintly as if from within. Here, mythology and memory echo in the land itself, where beauty is never loud, but always lasting. Shaped with mathematical precision, a seaside fortress begun in 1295 still whispers of power left unrealized in stone. Concentric walls, drum towers, and twin gatehouses form a near-perfect geometric design, shaped by Savoyard influence and royal command. Built from limestone, sandstone, and green schist, its weathered stonework reveals checkerboard textures softened by moss and salt air. Recognized as a masterwork of medieval military architecture, the structure joins a legacy shared with other great fortresses of the era. Imagine a town where history breathes through every stone and the salty air whispers stories of centuries past. Above the estuary, ancient walls rise in steady rhythm, enclosing rooftops, chimneys, and narrow lanes with timeless strength. Turrets catch shifting sunlight, while winding streets curve like pages of old tales, shaped by craftsmanship and time. The sound of a distant train blends softly with the tide's gentle lap against the quay, creating a melody as enduring as the town itself. Here, the name Conwy emerges, not as a new word, but as a familiar presence, rooted deep in memory and place. Built in the late 13th century, the town's medieval walls stretch over a kilometer, dotted with towers that stand sentinel around the compact streets. These fortifications, crafted from limestone and rhyolite, form one of Europe's finest preserved circuits, guarding the town with quiet dignity. Trains passing Conwy Station offer cinematic views of castle turrets and docks, alongside quaint landmarks like the smallest house in Britain. Weathered stone walls bear the marks of time, wind, rain, and sea salt etched into their surfaces. Within the fortress walls, closely packed whitewashed cottages with slate roofs display wooden-framed windows, rich with ancestral tales. Graceful without pretense, a town unfolds like a stage set balanced between sea breeze and memory-filled terraces. Before any name is spoken, the bay's curve, pastel facades, and hush between waves already whisper tales of leisure and time. Hospitality here feels natural, rooted in tradition that values composure, renewal, and the familiarity of returning footsteps. A sweeping seafront stretch lined with elegant terraced hotels evokes a regal charm without needing to demand attention. Upmarket confidence blends gently with local warmth, inviting conversation, comfort, and signature seaside fare. The seafront hotels, painted in soft hues, catch morning sunlight, their tall windows reflecting bay light like quiet beacons. Beneath the promenade, a beach of shingle and sand stretches out, littered with smooth stones and half-buried shells. These stones shift beneath curious feet when the tide pulls back, leaving temporary patterns in sand and shell. Victorian ornamentation still lingers. Cornices, iron balconies, and trim softened by salt wind and coastal grace. Quiet mornings breathe gently across rooftops and chimneys, soft light pooling between architectural lines and sky. A scent of salt blends with floral notes in the air, under gulls drifting slowly over pale water. Grassy slopes rise beyond the promenade, chalky cliffs peeking through rough grass dotted with wildflower blooms. Sunlit streets near the water feel open and airy, while hidden lanes further back offer calm, shaded intimacy. Together, this town stands serene and poised, a seaside symphony composed of grace, history, and gentle daily rhythm. The North Wales County's Lunatic Asylum in Denbigh was established in 1848 as the first public psychiatric institution in Wales. Its Victorian-era chapel, therapeutic gardens, laundry facilities, and craft workshops reflected an early belief in healing through purposeful work, long before modern psychiatry emerged. This vast complex, once self-sufficient with its own farmland and trade skills, was closed in 1995, leaving behind empty grounds and haunting architecture. The main central building still stands with Victorian gravity, where tall sash windows now open to birdsong, creeping ivy, and crumbling plasterwork. Despite shattered glass and decades of water damage staining the walls, the red brick and limestone detailing retain a quiet dignity. Inside, the abandoned corridors and flaking staircases evoke both fading grandeur and steady decline, a layered echo of memory and abandonment. The asylum today represents both a sobering chapter in mental health history and a symbol of changing approaches to social care in Wales. Those advocating for its redevelopment emphasize preserving the original facade and chapel ruins to safeguard the building's atmosphere, legacy, and distinctive architectural character. Is it possible for a man-made landscape to feel as if it has always belonged to the land? In mid-Wales, where ridges rise and skies gently fold into valleys, the Llyn Valley answers this quietly through its blend of water and stone. Spanning over 70 square miles, this area features turquoise reservoirs, rugged hills, and sweeping heathlands that rival the Lake District's raw beauty. Constructed between the late 19th and early 20th centuries, majestic dams built by thousands of workers supply Birmingham with drinking water while blending naturally into the Cambrian mountains. Designed in an Edwardian style, the earth and stone dams resemble natural cliffs rather than industrial structures. On calm, misty mornings, The reservoirs reflect the sky and hills so clearly, they seem like a hidden landscape beneath the water's surface. Centuries of shifting power and territorial conflict unfolded in this town, once protected by ancient fortifications. Its hilltop ruins whisper of ancient rulers, with stones that once formed strongholds against invasion and internal conflict. Strategically positioned between river and sea, the area served as a vital point of defense and trade for early inhabitants. While no longer standing, the fortress lives on through the land's outline, and the stories pass between generations. Gusts that sweep through the crumbling walls carry with them faint traces of past wars, peace deals, and vanished monarchies. Some landscapes speak in whisper rather than shouts, unfolding their stories slowly through wind, stone, and salt air. A remote island reveals itself in fragments, windswept fields, ancient ruins, and shorelines steeped in quiet memory. Secluded cottages nestle between green hedgerows and cliff-lined shores, their walls shaped by salt, silence, and storm. Weathered churches and lichen-covered stones reflect centuries of prayer, pilgrimage, and life shaped by sky and sea. Wild beaches stretch beneath changing skies, where tide marks shimmer and driftwood gathers like offerings to the land. The wind carries scents of gorse, seaweed, and peat smoke, blending past and present in each deep coastal breath. Low hills roll gently inland, where sheep paths cross moorland beneath the wheeling cries of seabirds overhead. Rocky outcrops rise like fossils from a dream, sculpted by rain and wind into shapes both familiar and unknowable. Even on gray days, soft light clings to tidal pools and stone walls, glowing faintly as if from within. Here, mythology and memory echo in the land itself, where beauty is never loud, but always lasting.